In today's video, you'll get to hear a conversation with Marci Segal on World Creativity and Innovation Day. And that is today, April 21st. This is the day that is celebrated now in more than 130 countries around the world. You can click on the link in the bio of this video for information about World Creativity and Innovation Week, wciw.org. And to learn more about this important day that encourages people to explore their own creativeness. From this conversation with Marci, you'll learn about how she started World Creativity and Innovation Day, and we get into all kinds of fun stuff in this discussion. So I hope you enjoy it. The pictures over top of the audio are all taken in Canmore, Alberta, in April of 2023. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. I'm Tony Esteves.
Alrighty.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, good afternoon. I'm here with Marci Segal, just having a little conversation about creativity, because today, April 21st, is a very special day. So, welcome to our conversation. Thanks for being open to having a chat with me.
Happy to meet with you and speak with you. Yes.
Lovely.
Yes.
And for those listening, we're basking in this spectacular view along the Bow River here in Canmore, Alberta, as we have this conversation. You can imagine that. Marci, one of the reasons I wanted to connect with you is you created this very important day a number of years ago, and it's Creativity and Innovation Day, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct.
And I'm wondering if you can share a little bit about why you felt compelled to create some sort of a movement around creativity a number of years ago.
Not so much a movement, more of a space holder to shine the light on creativeness and innovation. Back in the day, we'd talk about creativity with people, and they would, as if they had a fly swatter in their hand, try to shoo it away, or would make the sign of the cross in front of them and say, "Stay away from me, I'm not creative." Mm-hmm. Or they would say things like, yeah, I just don't have any time for that. And so I thought, this is nuts. Let's create a time and a space so that people can feel welcome to use it and to shine a light on their own creativeness and shine a light on other people's creativeness too, so that new ideas would have a soft place to land, and so that people would feel comfortable putting new thinking forward.
Excellent. And from what I've learned, this all started for you back in 2001. You had an experience that led you to create this space in 2002. Can you share a little bit about that?
Yeah, I'll give another context prior to that. Back in 1977, yes, that long ago, I left Toronto and I went to Buffalo, New York to study creativity at the International Center for Creativity in Buffalo, New York. And so since that time, I've been engaged and involved in the field, both as a student doing the undergraduate and then the graduate work, and then as a working professional for many, 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 many years. And what used to really disturb me, and it still disturbs me now too, is that I have a belief that everyone has the capacity to access their creativeness, that for a while I worked in the world of advertising, and that was really tough when there were certain individuals that were referred to as the creatives, and yet others were not referred to as creatives. And yet the capacity for using new ideas and making new decisions and achieving new results is within each of us. So that really used to bother me, right?
Right.
So I see a newspaper headline in one of our national newspapers that said that Canada is in a creativity crisis. So this is a number of years after I've been in the field. And I saw that this headline was referring to a debate that was being held in Ottawa between scientists and artists. And they were debating who is more creative. At which point I remember saying out loud to myself, give me a break. It's not about who has it and who doesn't have it. It's not who has more and who has less. It's that we've all got it. Can we please use it? So that was that was it. Mm-hmm. And so I thought, people say they don't have time for creativity. Nuts. Okay, let's create a day. You don't have to use it any other time that day. Here's a day.
Wonderful.
So go for it.
And so for that initial day, was that 2017? Or
No.
Sorry.
The first celebrations happened in 2002.
That's right. Sorry,
Yeah.
the first celebrations happened in 2002 after that initial thing that you spoke about at the event last night in 2001, where you were like, "Come on!" So
It's like enough already.
Enough already.
Yeah,
So that's back
because
2000.
that was in May of 2001.
Mhm.
So the next April was the first celebrations.
Right. But in 2017, it became recognized by the United
Okay,
Nations.
so a little bit more. 2014 is when I was in touch with the United Nations, and
Right.
it took that long until 2017 for them to to create and pass the resolution to make World Creativity and Innovation Day an International Day of Observance.
Right. And so now that is in, as I understand, more than 100 countries. People are
Over
observing.
130, yeah.
So most of the world. What is that? Like, what do you think is the significance of having this day that you created recognized on such a global scale, such a global platform? Like, do you think that has helped spread this awareness of the fact that we all have creative potential, and that we all have creativeness?
I believe so.
Yeah.
The focus is on putting a spotlight on creativity, bringing it to awareness so that people can actually have conversations about it, do it, step into it, ask new questions, whatever, and that it's welcome. So it's about, we have the capacity to create new futures, to be inspired by whatever, a crack in the sidewalk, a running river, a mountain, who knows what, to do something new and different, to create a future that we want. And in particular now, with the challenges we face with
there are
gender
many.
inequality and the climate crisis and poverty and so on, that we can access new thinking to create new solutions. So this is the whole sustainability thing, to create a decent life for people on the planet. We can do that.
Mm-hmm.
We have the capacity.
Using creativity.
Using new ideas, new decisions, and taking new actions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that may involve using creativeness. I tend to shy away from using the word creativity because people already have a brand recognition with what it is.
Right.
And my preference is to get away from that branding of it in terms of it only being in the arts. So I call it new ideas, new decisions.
Wonderful.
Accessing imagination, applying imagination, dreaming up new dreams, envisioning a future where there is a decent life for everyone on the planet, and then taking action to see what can be done to make that happen.
Sounds like a pretty worthwhile endeavor to me.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
And I also truly believe that when people are engaged in any creative act, and it could be painting or singing or drawing or acting or whatever from a traditional perspective, is that little creating ions are released. So the more that we engage in activities that provide us the opportunity of that personal expression, the better off we all are.
Wonderful. Well, thank you for co-creating this conversation with me. It's lovely. You answered the question that I never quite asked, and that was I was going to ask, what would you say to someone who considers themselves not so creative, and they don't really know why they should or should explore their creativeness? But I think you just laid out a bunch of beautiful reasons as to why someone would want to.
And it's up to the individual if they want to engage or not. They have the capacity. And I come from the school of show, don't tell. So I have had this actual conversation where I've said to this one woman, she said, I'm not creative. I said, well, have you ever made a substitution in a recipe that you've used? She said, yeah, I do it all the time. I said, duh, new idea, new decision. She went, oh. And there it goes. So, we used to encourage people, for example, to do small things like brush their teeth with the other hand, or like you're encouraging people to talk to someone new. Wouldn't that be a great time to just feeling safe going ahead and doing that? Yeah, something new, something different, refresh, revitalize.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for your time. I'm wondering, is there anywhere, if people listening to this wanted to track you down for a conversation, is there some place they should contact you or look at your work, or
well,
what's your pleasure?
I'm thinking that if they're curious about World Creativity and Innovation Day, which has expanded now to a week, beginning on Leonardo da Vinci's birthday, which is April 15th,
Yeah.
there is a website for that, which is wciw.org. So it's World Creativity Innovation Week.org.
Okay.
And there they can get information on that. More or less, I've relinquished the role. I've stepped aside from being the steward. I did it for over 20 years, and it's time for other people. Hello.
All right, we got a little furry friend here.
Yeah, to doing that. But I am on LinkedIn, but I tend to ignore requests.
No problem. So we'll send people to wciw.org. That's for World Creativity and Innovation Week.org, for them to learn more about this. I know with a quick internet search as well, it's pretty easy to find the United Nations page about it as well. So thank you so much for your conversation, Marci. Much appreciated.
Nice speaking with you. Thank you.
Lovely. Cheers.
Okay.
Great. Okay, thank you. You're welcome.